What if I told you? There's a boy who lived 18 years of his life surrounded by people but never felt seen. A boy whose loudest cries echoed inside his head because the world only cared when he smiled. This isn't fiction. This is the reality of millions. And today, you're about to live his story. Part 1. The beginning. His name was Arav. 18 years old. From the outside, he looked normal, decent grades, quiet nature, average life. But inside, he was drowning. Every morning, he walked into school wearing a mask, the mask of I'm okay. His parents were busy building a future, teachers were busy finishing syllabus, and friends. They laughed at memes, but never noticed the sadness in his eyes. He sat at the lunch table, surrounded by people, but no one talked to him. Part 2. The breaking point. One night, Arav stared at his ceiling and whispered, "Does anyone care if I disappear?" His phone was full of contacts, but empty of real connections. Not a single "Are you okay?" Not a single "I miss you." And that night, he wrote a letter. Not for his parents, not for the world, but for himself. A goodbye to the version of him that begged for validation. Part 3. The escape. At 4:17 a.m., Arav left his home. No phone, no wallet, just a small notebook and pen. He boarded the first train out of the city destination, nowhere. No plan, no map, just silence. For the first time, the noise outside matched the silence inside him. He reached a small mountain village, a place where no one knew his name. And for the first time, he felt free. Part 4. The stranger. There, he met an old man named Raghu. Wrinkled face, kind eyes, a man who lived alone for 35 years by choice. Raghu looked at Arav and said, "You're not broken. The world is just too loud to hear people like you." That sentence hit him like thunder. For the first time, someone heard him. Not his words, but his silence. And in that silence, Arav started healing. Part 5. The realization. Raghu taught him something schools never did. Alone doesn't mean lonely. It means you're strong enough to stand without noise. Arav began journaling, hiking, cooking, living. He wasn't running from the world anymore. He was running toward himself. Slowly, the pain turned into poetry, the silence into strength, and the emptiness into peace. Part 6. The returns. 6 months later, he returned home. But he wasn't the same boy who left. This time, when people ignored him, he didn't feel invisible. He smiled not for them, but for himself. And when someone asked, "Where were you?" he simply said, "Finding the version of me I lost trying to please all of you." Part 7. Today, Arav runs a blog called Alone, helping thousands of teens who feel exactly like he once did. He's not famous. He's not rich. But he's alive. And sometimes that's more than enough. Because alone doesn't mean forgotten. It means becoming whole without needing anyone else to complete you.
Part 8. The Echu Arav's blog Alone slowly began reaching inboxes of people just like him, silent fighters. One message read, "I was going to end everything today. Then I found your story. You saved a stranger's life, Arav." He read it, then cried, not because he was sad, but because for the first time, he realized his pain had a purpose. The pain he once hated had now become someone else's lifeline. He wasn't alone anymore. He was a light for others walking through the same darkness. Part 9. The mother's call. One night, Arav's mother called. Her voice trembled. "Beta, I read your blog. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were hurting that much." There was a pause, and then Arav broke down. For the first time in 18 years, they talked like humans, not just family. She listened not to fix him, but to understand, and in that moment, healing didn't feel like a mountain, it felt like a hug. Sometimes, the people who love us just need a mirror to see our truth. Arav became that mirror. Part 10. The mirror for Yao. And maybe this video is that mirror for you. Maybe you're Arav, or maybe you're the friend who never noticed, or the parent who never asked, or the teacher who only saw marks, not mental wounds. But now you've seen, you felt, you can't unknow it anymore. So here's the question. How many Aravs do you know, silently screaming behind a smile? And what will you do today to make sure they don't feel invisible anymore? Part 11. The forgotten birthday. Arav's 17th birthday. Not a single call, no cake, no surprise. Even his parents thought it was the 25th, not the 24th. He laughed it off, but that night, he cried harder than he ever had. That moment, he stopped expecting anything from anyone. Part 12. The fake friends. There were people around him, but only when they needed something. Notes. Help. Money. Never just him. He realized, being surrounded doesn't mean you're loved. It just means you're used. Part 13. The night in the rain. One evening, Arav sat alone on a bench. In pouring rain, no umbrella, no destination. For 3 hours, no one stopped. No one asked. That night he promised, if I survive this life, I'll never ignore another soul who looks lost. Part 14. The message in the notebook. Rag, who once gave him a note. If no one claps for you, clap for yourself. You're still here, and that's more than enough. Arav carried that note in his wallet. Even today. Part 15. The first laugh. Months later, in the village, Arav laughed. A real, full, tear-filled laugh. Not because something was funny, but because for the first time, he felt light, free from judgment, free from expectations. Part 16. The girl in the library. Back home, he met a girl crying in the college library. People walked past, but not him. He sat down and said, I don't know what you're going through, but I won't leave. That night, he became someone else's reason to stay alive.
Part 17. The voice recording. He once recorded a message for his future self. Dear me, if you're listening to this, that means you didn't give up. I'm proud of you. Keep going. Today, that voice note has saved thousands who played it on their darkest nights. Part 18. The online troll. One day someone commented, stop pretending to be deep. No one cares. Arav replied, even if one person feels heard, I'll keep speaking, because the world has enough noise. What it needs is understanding. Part 19. The candle in the window. Every night, Arav lights a candle in his window for anyone walking alone in the dark. A small signal to the world. You're not invisible. That candle has become a symbol in his town. A sign of hope. Part 20. The legacy. Arav's story is no longer just his. It's yours. It's mine. It's for everyone who ever felt like a background character in their own life. And if you're still watching, this isn't just a video, it's a movement. Comment I'm with you. Arav, if this story felt like your own, and if your heart whispered, I've been through this too, then hit subscribe, because next week, we're telling the story of a girl who faked smiles for 10 years until one YouTube comment saved her life. Will you be the one to leave that comment?